I had this really fun conversation today about superpowers. And it came up because we were sitting there talking about it just became like this moment where it was like, well, we were trying to divide people up in teams and do this reorg. And as we were doing it, we were like, you know what, let's just call it people's superpowers. This person's superpower is this. And then it was, you know what, your superpower is this. And then we just started having fun with it. And then I was like, this is funny. I have to share this. But it really is great, right? When you're thinking about these types of changes, like maybe it's an organizational change or whatever you're doing, right? But also take a moment and reflect on yourself and your own superpower. And what I mean by this is don't try to put it in a box or some label someone else has given it, right? And don't get silly, like my superpower is flying, right? Like take the construct of your human body and figure out your superpower. And this could be like your strategic thinking, right? It could be your influence. I know somebody who we were just like, and this is how this conversation started. They were moving somebody into this spot in the same job and into a different department because they were hoping that their work ethic would help that department, right? We've all been in these conversations. But what was interesting about it is I was like, you're totally missing the boat. Have you seen how people react to this individual? This person is an influencer. They need to be and have over these people. Like you need to be giving them leadership opportunity and mentoring them because people stop and listen. And the funny thing is it's the way that this person carries themselves. It's the way they articulate their speak patterns, right? Like I speak really, really fast. That doesn't work for everyone. And so this individual had the ability to influence, and you could give him anything like, hey, I need you to go get the team to do this. And he would be like, okay, yeah, I'll go over there and let everyone know. Very like just okay. And everyone be like, oh, yeah, we got it. Someone else could ask them to do that and it wouldn't have worked. And it was just because not the rapport he built with the team. He was new to this team. They had kept moving him from team to team because they thought his work ethic was making the difference with the teams. And so you sit back and go, no, this person's superpower was influence, his voice tone, everything. Like you can actually get that stuff measured if you haven't, right? You can get someone's voice tone measured, their speech patterns, their frequencies, their enunciations, all that stuff gives you information of people listening. And so at the same time, they had relevant things to say. So people really leaned in more and more with this guy. And so when we look at these situations about our superpowers, like what is your superpower? Maybe it is influence, right? Maybe it's humility. Maybe you're that person that when your peers are around and we're trying to set initiatives for the year or tackle a big executive problem or a big business problem as a business owner with your teams, right? There's all these different reasons why you should know your superpower, and you can identify it yourself or you can ask around and see, but just sit back and watch. Be present in the moment. See how people respond to you. See how it feels for you, right? In your gut instincts, do you feel like speaking up? Or are you like, ah, I'll see what others are saying? And I've seen a very strong executive, C-suite executive, that their superpower was humility. They were brilliant, brilliant individual. Many people, after just a few months of being with the company, started coming to them for advice, just as a sound wall to come up with ideas, to help with problems, things like that, collaboration, all of these areas. But it all started with their humility. I'm very much an observer. And so I sit back and watch these conversations happen in all of the companies. And in this particular one, he was quiet, often even coming into the meeting quiet. And when he did speak, he had very important, valid things to say. Often did it very much like, hey, has anyone thought of this? Or can someone explain this to me? And when you're asking those questions, it's giving everyone else the opportunity to verbally process something and bring the team closer together so that they can continue to work on that topic, if you will. And so this person had been asking these questions. And while they were asking these questions, what was happening is people were finding out that this person was actually brilliant, because sometimes people started asking questions back and they would give their opinion. And when they would give their opinion, it was like, oh, wow, we hadn't even thought of that perspective, right? But that was also two ways. So in their experience, their whole superpower was humility. Maybe yours is getting things done, strategy, right? Maybe you're amazing at presentations. I don't know, right? But sit and look at your superpowers and then look at the leadership team inside your company. Now, if you are an independent CEO and it's just you, we all know you still have other people that, even though they might not have an executive title, they're close to you, right? I have 8 people that are close to me. And those 8 people, they don't have executive titles, but they are my go-to people. And when I have a leadership meeting and a strategy meeting and these types of things, I bring them there. They're on their own growth plans. And, maybe at some point they will have executive titles. But keep that in mind if you're a business owner. And those of you who do have peers as executives, like, look around. What is everyone's strength and what is yours? How do you all fit together? It kind of changes your perspective when you go into meetings, and being able to go, well, I know this person is really good at diving into the data. Their team dives into the data. They love the data. They're the data people. So you always know you can go to them and ask the questions. And even if they don't have it, or it's not their department or whatever it is, or organization, they know how to go get it for you. But they can also give you good perspectives if you're looking for data of where and what to look for. A lot of times we just got to ask that question. What is it you're trying to resolve? What's the problem? What's the thought you're having that you're looking for data for, right? So keep that in mind. Enjoy this conversation. I definitely encourage you to have your superpower conversation with your peers, because it's really interesting. Even in your own leadership teams, if you're asking this about all of your employees and how they would label all of their labels with people's superpowers, are they being utilized? What's the strategy around the superpowers? Because that is powerful.